Welcome to Disney A, the Canadian-themed Disney travel podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Krysta.
And I'm still pointing at myself.
You are. And we're back.
We are back. You might hear it in my voice. I'm still a little sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
We recorded like a lot of episodes in advance, and then we got sick and we missed one.
Yeah, we missed.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we recorded.
Like live.
We didn't do one last week at all.
We had no voices, especially you.
I was right out of town. Here's the thing about getting in a little metal tin can and flying through the air with a bunch of other humans. Their germs kind of spread.
Yeah.
The recirculating air.
Yeah.
It gets to you. And I caught something on the way home, I think. I don't know.
We both got sick. You got way worse.
I got sick and then I made you sick.
And then you made me sick.
I got sick first for sure.
Good
so
job.
it's my fault. I apologize.
So anyway, we are sorry for not being here last week, but we had no
We missed
voices.
all of you. Every single one of you.
But especially the people in whatever better know a listener that you're
going
to
get
to.
First of all, we especially missed all the people from Duncan.
Especially Chris.
Because thank you for reaching out to us, and our first better know a listener that better knew us and reached out, and I'm sorry that I didn't know about the world's largest hockey stick.
That seems like a serious mistake.
That is a big mistake on my part. That's very cool.
Hockey stick and puck.
I'm gonna go visit that. One day I'm gonna go visit that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it one day in my life. I'm gonna go see the world's largest hockey stick and puck.
Yeah, that sounds very cool.
Yeah.
Also, so we do this thing now. Better know a listener, and like we said, our last one was Duncan, and Chris from Duncan reached out. Chris has done some cool Disney stuff.
I have a little bit of jealousy.
Yeah.
To Chris and his family, but yeah, okay.
For the Walt's Main Street Story Tour.
They got to see Walt's apartment above the fire. I'm very jealous.
I can tell.
I'm getting very
high
pitched.
You went up an octave or two
a couple octaves, yeah.
So yes, especially to our better know listener, but especially to Chris and his family.
Cheers to Chris.
Hold on.
Let's clink. Okay.
There we go.
So let's sagui. We clinked. What are you drinking?
Nice sagui. We were at our local brewery this afternoon. Yeah. And we are drinking beer from there, from Past Beer, this is Trees Don't Move. Is that correct?
Trees Don't Move.
All right, we got a growler home.
Which is a reference to both skiing and mountain biking. If you're going through the trees, the trees don't move.
Yeah, you got to move because they don't.
Yeah, you don't want to run into a tree because they don't move.
Yeah, this is an IPA, and you're drinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got a growler.
We got a growler. Yeah.
What is your nerd thing this week?
I don't do anything nerdy. What are you talking about? Why are you pointing? Okay. I'm
pointing up to where our upstairs TV is.
Okay. Yes. So, we finally finished the Last of Us Season 1 a couple days ago.
Yes.
Shot in our beautiful home province of Alberta.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of scenes in that show that were... we've seen them in real life. So
not only seen them, but like on a very regular basis.
It's an unusual circumstance for us because we're not from like Southern California where this stuff happens all the time. Anyway, so we watched that show, and I'm a gamer, and that's a show based on a video game, which is also kind of unusual. Like, video game based media has not been historically very successful except recently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then all of a sudden
that's now the thing to do, apparently.
I guess so.
Anyway, Last of Us was very good. We enjoyed it, not only because it was shot in our local area, but it was a good show.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Pedro Pascal. Not just because of Pedro Pascal.
Pascal is...
Hold on, we got a chef's kiss here. Mwah.
He is a zaddy with a capital Z.
Heck yeah.
Z because it's Canadian. Anyway, so that inspired me. I restarted playing The Last of Us video game because I had played it before, but I didn't get very far because I didn't really love the combat in it. But I started, and it's actually pretty good.
Are you feeling better about the combat in it?
I am.
With an asterisk?
It's a paradigm shift because I was used, when I started playing it, I realized why I didn't like it the first time, because I was just fresh off of playing Uncharted, which is another third-person action game.
Okay.
but that's an action game with a capital A, whereas Last of Us is more of a survival game with light action sequences, and I didn't quite get that
Your
the first
mind
time.
shift didn't work.
You in Last of Us, you kind of have to avoid combat more than actually engaging in it because you're surviving.
Whereas in Uncharted was do all the combat.
Yeah, you kill all the people. No, you want to more avoid people or monsters or whatever.
I would say people is a strong term on a lot of these
the people
guys.
are more scary than the monsters in Last of Us, to be honest with you.
In the show too.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Cool. I like that. Okay. So you got me on Steam a cozy game pack.
I know you're a cozy gamer, so I got you a cozy game pack.
I like never think of myself as being a gamer, but you were explaining to some of your gaming buddies today about the amount of hours I put into Animal Crossing.
I have gaming buddies because I'm that much of a nerd.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
And Disney Dreamlight Valley and stuff like that. And so I guess I would say that I'm a cozy gamer.
Hardcore cozy gamer.
See, I never think of myself that way. But
no,
yeah.
it just is.
It's a problem.
It's just facts. Yeah, straight facts.
So you got me a cozy game bundle, and I was like, I'm gonna try one, and then I played the entire game. And not that I got obsessed, but
a little bit obsessed.
They can't see you do the little finger.
Yeah. Okay, little fingers, just a little bit obsessed. Yeah. You haven't got all the achievements yet, though.
No, I'm at 15 out of 17, so I'm going to keep playing until I get them all, and then I'm going to start a new one, and then do everything in that one, and then I'm going to be very thorough in going through.
So you're into cozy games, but then you're like hardcore on the cozy games. Okay.
Yeah. So this is called Lemon Cake.
Mm-hmm.
It was super fun, and I got like...
Okay, what's the premise of Lemon Cake?
Okay, so you show up at an abandoned bakery.
As one does. Yeah.
But it isn't actually abandoned. There's a ghost that lives there.
Okay, and I would leave immediately.
No, it's a ghost that is very
friendly
nice.
Ghost,
a
like
friendly ghost.
Casper.
Casper.
Okay.
Who was a baker her whole life, and it was her bakery, and she's super sad.
Does the ghost control you with your hair like a Ratatouille situation?
Not quite. Or Rakakuni. Not Rakakuni either.
Okay.
But does help you learn recipes and things like that. And so you kind of like refix up the bakery, and there's like a greenhouse attached, and you can like live upstairs, and there's like a kitchen and the bakery itself, and then you reopen the bakery bit by bit as you learn recipes and make money, and then eventually you give the ghost confidence enough to become your waitress.
Wow, that sounds like a fate worse than death.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so from the outside looking in, I would just, correct me if I'm wrong, I would describe this as like a Harvest Moon Light crossed with Overcooked.
I mean, like...
If you know what games are.
Kind of. Like the Overcooked in terms of like the making the recipes and the having specific things and things like that against the clock.
Yeah.
Harvest Moon like style, I guess.
Right, because you gotta water your stuff
but it's all very much based on like you have your baking day and your cycle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I pegged it.
It's fun anyway.
Okay.
I really liked it. I played it like hardcore for a few days, and now I just need to have like 2. I've passed everything except there's 2 achievements I haven't gotten yet, so I'm like going back and getting those now.
You're a gamer now. When you start going back to play a game that you've already beat to get achievements, you're a gamer.
I'm at 15 out of 17. You can't leave it with just 2. I'm not saying.
I've been there. Trust me, I've been there.
Well, we were playing, and we were both sick, and so you were like bringing me tea and coffee and then tea as I was playing, and then I looked up and like 4 hours had gone by.
Why would happen? Yeah.
And you were like, "Well, I've been there," and I'm like, I don't know if I've ever experienced that." So
it's a thing.
I'm not saying I'm a gamer. However, I enjoy cozy games on occasion.
Okay.
We won't discuss the amount of hours I put into Animal Crossing.
No, we will not, because that's a problem.
Okay, so anyway, that's my nerd thing right now. Do you have anything else to add before we go to the news?
Well, no.
Or are we going to go Better Know a Listener first?
We need to go to Better Know a Listener.
All right.
Yeah, we need to go to Better Know a Listener.
All right, I'm ready.
We're going pretty cool, because this town, I saw the name of this town, the city, this place, and I had to talk about it.
Because it sounds cool?
Because it's a cool name. Egg Harbor City.
That is an interesting name. Egg Harbor, like egg is in like the food?
Yeah.
Like the chicken?
EGG.
Okay.
As in chicken lays an egg.
Egg Harbor City. Wait, is this near New York?
Kind of, because it is in New Jersey.
Okay, because in Great Gatsby, just off of New York, they have West Egg and East Egg.
Okay.
Maybe it's like related.
Maybe. I don't know. It's like... Egg Harbor.
Okay.
And Egg Harbor, apparently, is known for 3 things.
All right, I'm ready.
The Silver Fox Farm alpacas.
Oh, you love... Aren't alpacas like your favorite animal?
They're one of my favorite animals. Okay. Alpacas are adorable. They're like llamas, but even friendly.
More. Yeah.
Friendly. Like,
they spit at you much less.
Llamas are kind of mean. Alpacas are friend-shaped. They're friend-shaped.
They're friend-shaped llamas.
Llamas kind of spit, and they have the weird teeth. Alpacas are friend-shaped. So alpacas are awesome. And then they also have the Angels in the Pines goat farm.
Which is your other favorite animal.
That is my favorite animal, is the goat. Like, I don't know. You should probably post my selfie with the goat.
Oh, so Brandon made best friends with a baby goat last fall, actually. Are we going to go to the pumpkin patch again this year?
I would love to go to the pumpkin.
Okay, well, we do that.
I want to go see...
Totes?
I want to go see Totes my goat's grandchild or whatever. And take another selfie.
Yeah, he took a selfie with a goat.
It is my greatest selfie of all time.
Because it's with a goat.
And the goat posed for the selfie, so...
And Brandon named him Totes, because he's Totes my goat.
Totes my goat. Because he was my goat, and he was my buddy. And we hung out for, like, quite a long time. He was my buddy. I love goats, especially baby goats. And so that's 2 of the things they're known for.
It's 2 pretty great things.
The third thing they're known for, number 3, is the Renault Winery Resort.
Ooh, I like wine.
Winery Resort.
Ooh, I like resorts too.
Yeah, so that sounds pretty cool. I don't know what's involved in the resort, but it's a winery, so it's probably wine.
Harbor City.
Yeah, in New Jersey.
Okay, if you are from Egg Harbor City, first of all, hello. Second of all, have you seen these alpacas, goats, or explain what is in a wine resort, please? Because I am intrigued.
Well, and apparently Great Egg Harbor got its name from explorer Cornelius Jacobson May, which doesn't even make any sense, but that's what it says. He was Dutch.
Okay, also tell me if this has anything to do with the Great Gatsby. Because in Great Gatsby, it's this whole thing about West Egg and East Egg and how the, like, parts of the land that jut out into the ocean are shaped like eggs. So please explain if this is related at all. Because I want to know.
I mean, it's probably. Anyway, Egg Harbor City.
That's cool. Egg Harbor City with alpacas and goats and wine resorts.
They have cool animals and also wine for some reason.
Sounds fantastic.
Sounds like the best part of New Jersey from everything I've heard about New Jersey.
Which is mostly Jersey Shore.
Mostly Jersey Shore and also New Jersey Devils, which,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the New Jersey Devils just, like, ruined 90s hockey.
You got very Canadian there for a minute.
I did.
Yeah, hey.
The trap that the New Jersey Devils instituted in the 90s ruined hockey. Okay. Anyway, Egg Harbor City, much better than the trap instituted by the New Jersey Devils. Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's go news. Disney A News Update. Okay, so we haven't had the news for a while because we did, like, what was it, 3 episodes in advance, and so we didn't have news for any of those.
We did have a lot in the can, and we didn't have any news because we didn't know what's going on. So we gotta catch up. What's big? What's big? What's happening?
Here we go. Ready? Are we ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Tons of merch.
Lots of merch
related to Haunted Mansion, which I'll cut back to in a minute.
Haunted Mansion, the movie, because that
all
makes
that
sense.
Totally. I am a big fan of the Madame Leota stuff in particular. Look at that cool Loungefly bag.
The Loungefly bag is fantastic.
But they have a couple different lines related to that. Also,
apparently the jacket, terrible.
Was that Haunted Mansion jacket?
Yes, it was Haunted Mansion jacket. No, it was Haunted Mansion jacket. Terrible. And the baseball cap that we saw on the video.
gross. Literally the worst merch I've ever seen.
The worst merch I've ever seen.
And normally I'm just like, this isn't for me. But this is like flat out ugly.
No, just cheap and poorly made and garbage.
However.
Because most Disney merch I want, but I just can't afford.
Yeah.
This one, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Okay.
Anyway. Okay, a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, including plushies. We also have, speaking of Haunted Mansion, more food and things like that. There's like
you
treats.
Got your
there
April
was the
to
big
December,
candle.
Your April to December churros.
We heard good things about that. Churros. Do you want to explain the April to December? We're like, why is this a Haunted Mansion thing? Do you want to know? Do you remember why?
Well, it's when you're going after the stretching room when you're walking through. There's all the portraits and stuff. There's the one of the lady that like goes from young and beautiful to old
she's like
and horrible.
A calendar.
It's April to December.
Yeah, it's great, right?
It's a good reference. I don't know.
So anyway, there's a lot of different Haunted Mansion food offerings to celebrate the movie. There's some merch. There's things like that.
Oh, and there's a prefix menu at the one restaurant that's Haunted Mansion
Where was
themes.
that at?
I think it's at the New Orleans restaurant that's not closed right now. The other one, not the French Market, because that's closed. It's going to become Tiana's Palace,
which is also in my news.
Yes. It's the Cafe Orleans.
Orleans.
I believe so.
Okay.
It's a prefix menu.
And it's like there's you have a couple different options, but there's like a seafood broil, and it's a whole thing anyway.
But it's all Haunted Mansion themed.
Exactly.
And it's only like $50 or something.
Sounds pretty good.
Pretty good for a 3-course meal at Disney anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got merch related to that. We have lots of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff has come out, and that was just the precursor because as of August 1st this year,
literally August 1st, they had the ears and something else in July even, but like there was a full line August 1st in
Halloween.
The stores. All Halloween stuff.
Tons of Halloween merch is out
Ridiculous.
now. So anyway, if you are at all one of those people who are excited for Halloween merch, I've said this to many people now, because the Halloween merch is around here too. Not as cool as Disneyland, of course. But everyone who complains about Christmas merch showing up
in November.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finishing your sandwiches right now. Sorry, I apologize.
That deserved a high five. Thank you for that. That was a Disney reference.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
I don't hear anyone complaining about Halloween merch in August.
Okay, A, that's because Halloween is awesome, and
so is Christmas.
And B, there's no Halloween carols. That's what drives people nuts about Christmas is the repeated music. You got
I'm gonna start listening. You got
your
Halloween
Christmas
music.
carols. You got your Christmas carols. You got your Mariah Carey. You don't want to hear that on repeat for 2 months straight.
I do.
You notwithstanding, but like you don't hear Halloween music. You hear that like a week before Halloween.
People complain about Christmas merch showing up November 1st, and they always say that's too early. That's too early. That's too early. But they say it's the merch, and so I better hear you complaining about August 1st, because that's even longer.
It's the music and probably the Hallmark movies as well.
Oh, I love the Hallmark movies. Oh my God.
But people like scary stuff, so we can have that for a long time.
Yeah, but people actually do complain about the merch. And that's silly, because Christmas you buy gifts for people. Halloween you're not typically buying gifts for people.
You can buy gifts for people all year long.
You can, however. So I better hear some people complaining about this. Personally, I don't care. Just like I don't care about there being Christmas merch on November 1st or even into October for that matter. But
for me, Christmas begins November 12th. But
yeah, that is when we start Christmas in our house.
That's when Christmas begins. Yeah. Halloween can begin August 1st. That's fine with me. I love Halloween. Spooky season. Let's go. We do like
spooky season. Let's go for spooky season.
Let's go.
So anyway, that is more merch news. And speaking of that, we have a few adjacent to that, we have some news for New Orleans Square, because I was thinking, Haunted Mansion and things like that. So we do have news that Phantasmic is not reappearing again until the spring, and when it does, it will be sans Murphy. Murphy is the big dragon.
Yeah, the dragon burned down, and the dragon not coming back.
No, so till spring.
Well, the dragon not coming back at all.
That's true. Phantasmic is not returning at all until spring. Now,
so here's my theory and your theory probably. They're gonna change it a little bit, but I think this might be Disney's opportunity to introduce a drone show.
We did discuss this, yeah.
We were watching a video of actually Universal Studios Hollywood, and they do the big. They have a little light show and stuff over the Hogwarts castle, and they have a new one this fall that's like it's Slytherin Death Eaters style.
Yeah, when we went, it was like the houses.
Yeah, it was all the houses.
Yeah.
This one's like I don't know, what did they call it? Like dark magic or something.
I don't know what the actual name of it is, but it's when the Death Eaters show up.
It's dark something. Anyway, it's dark magic themed, and there's Death Eaters and stuff, but then there's Patronus, and it's a giant like elk, like the Patronus that Harry summons.
Yeah, it's the stag
but it's all drones.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
And it looks very, very cool, and I think they could do something like that for Phantasmic.
Yeah, and it says that they're looking at some new and innovative ideas, so I think that's going to be right up.
I'm surprised that Disney hasn't done more drone stuff because, while drones are expensive up front, fireworks are expensive every day.
Yeah, and you can't always, like, you could do drones more often than you can do fireworks because, of course, they don't want to do fireworks anytime that's, like, kind of windy. You can't do it in any rain. You can't
Drones can't probably fly in too much wind or rain either, but you still don't blow them up every time you use them.
Right. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Unless they're weaponized drones, which
is a totally different thing.
Completely different topic.
But, yes, we had this discussion before, and I think you're onto something for sure. Speaking of Phantasmic not being there, the Jambalaya Jazz Band featuring Queenie will be performing nightly along the rivers of America at Disneyland Park.
I think this is super cool.
It looks so cool. This, let me see, July 21st it started, and it's every night through summer until ? Basically.
You know where they got the idea of this?
Where?
Star Wars night.
Oh, so they do this at Star Wars night.
Yeah, yes. They have the same barge going by on Star Wars night, and they have the Cantina band playing some sweet Star Wars jizz,
which is great.
That's what it's called.
I know it is.
You can't censor me. That's what it's called. Look it up.
So that's kind of cool. Speaking of, again, further to New Orleans Square, Tiana's Palace is looking great.
Oh man, is it ever?
That's an any day now situation.
They have put a lot of work into that. It's all paint and elbow grease, but it looks really cool.
It looks so good.
It looks way better than the French Market ever did. That always looked kind of bland to me.
Well, the new sign is up now, and I just think this looks great. The colors on it are fantastic. It looks like Mardi Gras.
I hope they have a menu to match. Like, I hope they have the favorites that used to be there, but I hope they have some new stuff too, and everyone's happy with it. I don't know.
We'll
optimistic.
See.
It looks fantastic in videos. Like, that's all I can say.
Totally. So tons of renovations, tons of construction. Period.
They've taken down 2 trees on the old Splash Mountain.
Literally the next thing I was gonna say.
Perfect. Well, I segued
Look at your
segue.
You can tell I'm like moving through, right? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we've got Splash Mountain. Doesn't look like Splash Mountain anymore.
There's no tree.
Nope. Oof. I don't know.
It's kind of sad, actually.
It is kind of sad.
It's a little sad.
Kind of sad. I was pretty sad. I'm just so happy we got to ride it. Like, I didn't think I was going to get to ride it at all, and I've ridden it a few times, so.
Well, yeah, so rewind. We had our trip booked for April 2020.
Yep.
And then some things happened, and
why? What happened?
And while some things were happening, they announced that they were going to shut down Splash Mountain and re-theme it to Tiana's Bayou Adventure or whatever, and we're like, oh no.
Splash Mountain was my answer to always, what's your favorite ride?
Not because they were changing it to Tiana's. We were just like, well, we're never going to see it again. And it was your favorite, and there's a lot of history there. And that was kind of sad to us because we were supposed to go, and then, yeah. But we were lucky enough. We got to go twice while it was still open.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
It is still kind of sad to see the tree gone, but it's like bittersweet.
The second time, we knew for sure that was going to be our very, very last time riding it, and we have a lovely ride photo of us saying goodbye to the ride,
which I posted on our Instagram.
Yes, you did.
Saying goodbye.
Saying goodbye
to Splash Mountain.
We did, and so that was actually quite lovely.
It was. Yeah,
it was good to know that was our very, very last time riding it as Splash Mountain.
Yep.
With Brer Rabbit and
we
Brer
rode it
Fox.
a few times that trip.
Oh, lots.
And then we did the mountain challenge, and then we said, well, let's go on it one more time and like say goodbye. And so we specifically went on it one more time to say goodbye, and we did.
I got very wet.
We got very wet, and we waved goodbye at the camera.
Yeah.
So now, trees are gone. It's looking different. So
we're only like a year and a half away from it being something else. I don't know.
Oof. So speaking of that whole area, we also have, we had a couple sippers come out. The big one, there was, So there was two that I want to talk about. Well, there was also the popcorn thing, but anyway. So there was a really cool Mr. Toad's popcorn bucket. Mm-hmm. Then...
he was in his car driving.
Yeah, that was super cool. And then there was the Mickey on the train. That's out right now.
Disney Railroad.
That looks so cool.
Railroad.
Yeah.
Train.
And he...
Railroad.
I heard somewhere with CK Holiday. Was that Fresh Baked? It might have been Fresh Baked. And that's a popcorn bucket. And then we have the Sipper, which is the Hatbox Ghost. This is the newest one.
This is the number one sad merch that I would love to have, but I can't.
Nope.
It's just a Sipper, but
it looks really good.
Wow. I shouldn't just say just a Sipper, but it's just fantastic.
It's so good.
It would be the greatest Halloween decoration.
It would literally just go on our mantle.
It lights up. It lights up his face, and then it lights up the face in the hat box. It's just fantastic.
So I have him right here. The Sipper has 3 light up modes, switching his head from the box to his face, and just in the box.
Just fantastic.
Like, look at him.
Like perfect merch.
Good job on this one, Disney. Much better than your hat.
Yeah, the Haunted Mansion hat. Funnily enough, the Haunted Mansion hat and the Sipper was the same price. No wonder the Sipper sold out so fast. Okay. Anyway.
So it looks really, really good. Okay, so now we've got lots of construction going on. We have construction downtown Disney, but let's go, because I'm trying to do all these news updates. Let's jump over to DCA. San Francisco.
Oh. Yeah, they've done some good work on this.
So it's not going to be fully completely done until the end of August, and the final, the final straw of it being done, last
there's not going to be any straw there.
I don't know, is going to be the Baymax meet and greet. But in the meantime, about, what would you say, 3/4 of it, maybe even slightly more, is done.
Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing. It's mostly a paint and polish type of situation. They put up the big struts and stuff on the bridge.
Yep.
They haven't painted them though, which is kind of weird.
That's gonna be a second last thing, I think.
I would think it would be easier to paint them before you put them up, but what do I know? I don't know. But they've put a lot of decals on all the restaurants and stuff. Rita's blenders is now
turbine blenders.
The turbine blenders rather than the Baja blenders or whatever. They've taken out the beer truck, and there's now a cerveceria.
Yep.
Which I want to go to because beer, thumbs up.
But most of the things they just added a menu item or two.
Menu item. They repainted the Lucky Fortune Cookery sign and took it down and put it back up because they painted all this stuff. Not a ton of menu changes. A couple of new things, but nothing to break anyone's heart. Probably, I don't know.
Yep.
Anything you change in Disneyland is going to break someone's heart.
That's true.
But nothing crazy.
No, that's
we're waiting for that Baymax meet and greet.
Totally. We are not stand in line and meet the characters. I will stand in line to meet Baymax.
I'm fist bumping Baymax so hard, and then I'll go bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah, every day.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We literally have not finished our decades look because we need to rewatch this movie.
Big Hero 6 is one of my favorite Disney movies. And
Yeah,
it's just
it's recent. It's crazy.
I don't know.
So anyway, that's going to be the final one. But if you're at all interested in any of the, new foods or anything like that, there's lots of stuff up on YouTube and Instagram. We always recommend Fresh Baked.
Fresh Baked is fantastic.
Yep.
Magic Journeys also did some
Magic
good
Journeys
job,
has done a good. They're great food, specifically if you want to look at it. So we've been watching kind of that and looking at the food options, and just kind of waiting to see. But it's 3/4 of the way open now.
I will talk about one new food item
that
we're a little bit split on.
We are a little. What do you mean
a little bit split on?
Quite split.
We were very excited to see because they had some Mexican street corn, but
at Cochina Cucamonga.
It's Asian fusion Mexican street corn,
yeah.
And so there's some seafood sprinkles on it, and that just ruins the whole thing for you. So for you, I think it looks awesome,
it looks
and
terrible.
it looks delicious, and I will eat it. And there's some spice to it.
Why would you take delicious Mexican street corn and sprinkle fish on it?
Well, because it tastes delicious.
Gross.
Obviously. Okay.
We have different opinions on this.
Yeah, well, you put pineapple on pizza. So.
I do, and it tastes delicious.
No, you're wrong. Okay. Anyway, delicious fish elote is my friend, and it's not yours. So.
No, it's not. But anyway, this does look super cool. So, we're right up there for Tiana's Palace. We're right up there for, all of San Francisco. We have to be getting close on the treehouse. And then this is news that I hadn't seen before.
Oh my goodness, we have so much news.
The Disney Careers website has posted a new casting call.
Do they have some accountant jobs?
For a solo jazz pianist.
That's not accounting jobs.
Nope. No. To portray Joe Gardner from Disney Pixar's Soul.
Oh.
Disney's live entertainment is actively seeking individuals for an upcoming offering located at Disneyland Resort.
Is this going to replace Rogers the Musical?
I don't know. That's my question. We were just talking about Rogers the Musical.
Well, Rogers the Musical is supposed to be a limited engagement ending in the summer. If they're casting for something musical, are they going to do Soul the Musical in the Hyperion?
Wouldn't that be nice at Christmas time, though?
I could see that.
That'd be a nice holiday one.
I could see that be for I don't know. Soul was great. It was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But anyway, I just saw this. This is news.
That's a tough cast, though.
Okay.
You need someone who's an actor and can play the piano at a high level.
But there's no other casting news. Just Joe Gardner.
No cat or anything?
Nothing.
Maybe it's like a cavalcade where he just plays the piano.
Maybe he's going to be somewhere else. Like, I don't know. It's interesting, hey?
That is interesting.
So going to be keeping our eye on that one.
Okay.
And now I have sad news. So this was a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Rubens passed away. This happened earlier this week.
That's Pee Wee Herman for the uninitiated.
But there's a strong, other than just pop culture icon.
Obviously.
There's a strong Disney.
Very strong.
Brandon? DJ Rex.
Or Captain
Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was also part of the film portion of the original Backlot tour at Disney's MGM Studios. As Pee Wee Herman, though.
Did you know what else he did for Disney? Well,
what else did he do for Disney?
Lock, Stock, and Barrel.
Really?
He was Lock
or Stock or Barrel.
Catherine O'Hara was Barrel.
Okay, well, Catherine O'Hara was the girl. I don't remember which one was which.
Yeah. And Danny Elfman was the other one.
Which is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah. Paul Rubens was one of Lock, Stock, and Barrel, and there's a clip of them online singing live, the three of them singing Sandy Claus together, and it's amazing.
Locke. He was Locke.
He was Locke. Okay, I was right. And that's really cool because that's one I didn't quite recognize.
No, DJ Rex was obvious.
Rex is very obvious. It sounds
Captain Rex.
He's basically sounds like Pee Wee Herman.
In fact, we looked it up
form.
And we're like, is this Pee Wee Herman or is it someone doing a Pee Wee Herman impression?
Yeah.
But But look, that's cool.
Yeah, so that there's another
And as
one.
a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan, I did not know that, so I love that. I knew Catherine O'Hara.
Paul Rubens was a talented fella, because like something like Pee Wee Herman is tough to pull off, and he did. And you need to watch Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure.
I know. So anyway, that's sad news, but
yeah, he F cancer.
Yeah,
he fought it.
Yep.
Privately for years.
Yeah, it didn't literally was a private thing.
Yeah.
Okay, super quickly. Paradise Pool at Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel will reopen this. Well, it's any day now. It's this week. It's reopening. It's probably today actually, because it was Saturday when we're recording this. So that's cool. More steps forward in that one. We also have at the Disney Gallery at Disneyland. We have a bunch of display for
like Disneyana, you mean? Yeah.
For the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Including the Madame Leota costume worn by Jamie Lee Curtis, as well as the film's Crystal
One
Ball.
of the original Scream Queens.
Yeah, that's right. Jamie Lee Curtis just keeps getting more and more cool every year, and that's saying something, because she started with Halloween.
We talk about people that you'd want to have a beer with or a coffee with or whatever.
She's a great answer.
She would be high up on that list for
I would
sure.
never think of it off the top of my head, but you are 100% correct. Love her. As well as the Crystal Ball is there too. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so basically we're just like leaning into the Halloween stuff all the time. The first birdhouse was also removed at Splash Mountain. We talked about Splash Mountain Arenas, but also the former Steakhouse 55 that's been sitting there completely empty in Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah, they're working on it?
Completely blocked off, and the sign has been removed.
Interesting.
So that's interesting.
Are they making something else?
Maybe they're putting a jazz pianist doing Joe Gardner there. I don't know. But this is new.
I thought they should change it. Because like in Disney World, they don't have like the 1923 steakhouse or something. I always thought that they should do that at the Disneyland Hotel. I think it would fit
well
better.
Everything is so much Disney history there. Like, it's perfect.
And it fits there because it is Disney history.
That's exactly right.
Like, yeah, you can fake history in Disney World so much, but
you know what? Instead of 23, call it 55.
Well, that's why it was Steakhouse 55.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just instead of doing it like as a steakhouse,
right.
Do it just 23, but just change the name of it so it's different.
1955, but like have everything original. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, they should do something though, because that's just wasted space.
Yeah, well, apparently they are. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
It makes sense. Make a restaurant. You make money off of restaurants.
Absolutely. So anyway, there's a ton of Disneyland news. Of course, the big movie is Haunted Mansion being out.
Haunted Mansion super duper bombed.
But I haven't heard terrible things about it.
It's better than the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion. We haven't seen it yet. It's super bombed. People are like, why did this come out in the summer? Because they want to have it on Disney Plus for the Halloween season.
I get it. That's going to be the big Halloween thing.
So that's fine, but it's not horrible, but it's not very good, and it did totally bomb it. Like, it is losing money hardcore.
People just aren't seeing it, but I have, like, critics
any Disney fan,
they like
Disney
it.
fan that has seen it kind of likes it. There's a lot of Easter eggs and stuff, so we will probably tolerate.
I will love it.
You will love it.
Sure.
I will tolerate it. Whatever. That's fine. But yeah, definitely super bombing. And speaking of bombing, what we're going to talk about later.
Okay. We've gone through so much news. Do you want to just go?
No,
okay, go ahead.
I kind of want to talk about all the Marvel news.
Okay, Marvel. Let's do Marvel. No, you got to do it. Let's do it.
Well, so we are in the midst of this whole writer and actor strike, so all this stuff has to be taken with a grain of salt because no contracts can be signed right now, technically.
That's true.
Unless they're under the table in
under
a desk
the table,
drawer somewhere.
or if they were previously signed and then not just made public, which is the other,
which is a possibility,
especially in the Marvel world.
But the next major project, which is like the most major project in my heart.
Yes.
Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
There's been lots of rumors about this in the past. In fact, we've talked about some like pretty hardcore casting lists.
Yep.
All false.
Totally.
They're gone. Nope.
Yep.
All gone.
No, we don't.
Apparently, Adam Driver was offered the role of Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richards turned it down,
and he was a big rumor.
That's what we're hearing. I'm okay with that. I love Adam Driver. I think he's awesome.
Just not necessarily.
I did not see him as Reed Richards. Yeah. I did not see it.
I agree. I love Adam Driver. I think he's one of the most talented actors working right now. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four is a big place in your heart.
Yeah.
But Adam Driver,
you don't care.
I don't care. But I get what you're saying, I guess is my thing.
Right. So what we're hearing is Vanessa Kirby is cast as Sue Storm.
Who was?
She's in some other stuff that we haven't seen.
Yeah, but which is interesting because what I was going to say is the casting that we've heard.
It's kind of minor, smaller
they're not,
scale.
Adam Driver, that is an A-list celebrity. None of the ones who've been cast theoretically been cast. Sorry.
Well, yeah. So the last casting that we heard was Adam Driver, who of course like Star Wars and all that, and Margot Robbie as Sue Storm, of course. Barbie now, but like Harley Quinn before that, and all the other stuff that she was in. But yeah, this Vanessa Kirby. What is she in? Apparently she was in A Midsummer's Night Dream in 2010. That's for you only.
I saw A Midsummer Night's Dream in 2010.
Yeah, apparently
Who did she play?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. And As You Like It. She's a Shakespeare fan.
She's apparently a Shakespeare lady.
And A Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah, she's apparently born in Wimbledon, so she must be a tennis fan. I don't know. She was Princess Margaret in The Crown on Netflix. And she was in Mission Impossible 6 and 7.
One we had heard
about. Yeah. So that's where she kind of got the big time.
So again, until it's official,
we don't know.
This is just rumors.
Just
However,
looking at pictures of her, I'm in favor. She kind of looks like a Sue Storm, and just like giving her resume, I'm okay. Like she's the right level. She's not huge.
Yeah.
But like ready for some MCU.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Joseph Quinn.
This one I'm super excited about.
And if you don't know that name, he played Eddie Munson.
You know Eddie.
Go Eddie!
Yeah!
On Stranger Things, and
Did we both just rock on?
Yeah, you just gotta rock out with Eddie. You gotta rock out with Eddie. He's gonna be Johnny Storm, so... Theoretically. And I'm in favor of both of those. I don't know. Whatever. That's fine. We don't know who Reed is gonna be. We don't know who the Thing is gonna be. It doesn't really matter who the Thing is gonna be unless they have a terrible voice.
They're all CGI'd anyway.
The Thing has to be CGI, so whatever.
Mm-hmm. But, yay, Eddie. Justice for Eddie.
Justice for Eddie. He's going to be Johnny Storm. He's going to flame on. And we're going to go. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I just, please make the Fantastic Four good. Please. That's all I ask.
So now, but everything with Marvel, like everything that is related to writers and actors and everything, is giant question marks anyway.
Oh, it must, like... It's hard for Hollywood in general. Anything, your writers are on strike, so you can't write new scripts. Your actors are also on strike, so you can't film anything now. That must be really, really tough. But Marvel and Kevin Feige must be just like pulling out their freaking hair right now because they have all these plans, and it's a domino effect. When something gets delayed, everything does, and I cannot imagine how miserable Kevin Feige's life must be right now.
Well, because other studios, you have, or company studios, everything, you have, we have these plans for these movies, and if this one gets delayed, okay, like it might affect budgets for other things, but not only does it do that, but it's like we can't tell the story in 2027 if we don't tell the one in 2026 and 2025 and 2024 and you know what I mean? Like, it's such a mess.
The MCU, at a bare minimum, has a 5-year plan.
Yep.
And when a year and a half of that gets blown out, like...
Right after a pandemic where everything got messed up.
Well, yeah, the pandemic messed everything up, and they're still recovering from that, which we're going to talk about in our main feature, which we're running behind on. But that's fine. We're just going to be a long episode because we haven't been with you for a while, so that's all good.
An extra long episode.
So yeah, I don't. This whole strike thing is just wild.
There's
for the
a lot
MCU.
of effects to it, yeah.
And to be fair, I'm on the side of the writers and the actors.
Yep,
like,
me too.
Yes,
pay your writers and your actors, period.
Your high-end actors, they make bank. That's fine. Your high-end writers sorta, kinda do okay. That's fine. But it's everybody else. Like, the guild represents everybody, and that's the whole point of a union, right? And your low-end actors do not do very well, especially in the day and age of streaming where they have kind of different rules, and that's what they're striking about. They need to make money so they can eat food.
You want we just talked about the pandemic. We just mentioned the pandemic. I think that there are many lessons we learned that we should have learned that we didn't necessarily learn. But
no one learned it. No one learned anything. But that's
one
fine.
of the ones we should have learned was how important any of the arts are to us. Because
Absolutely.
When we were stuck in our houses,
we watched The Tiger King.
I forgot about that.
We sat there and watched The Tiger King. So
everyone did.
Yeah.
So that should tell you what the arts means to people. And
we will watch The Tiger King.
It means we watch The Tiger King.
Imagine if we had something better.
That's what I mean. Like, we were so... Yes, a lot of it was escapism or there's nothing else to do or whatever, but that there was a lot of meaning to it and to the arts, to media. And when all was like, so yeah, it's important to people. Pay them accordingly. Full stop. Period. End of sentence.
The arts are important, and not everybody can do it. So
yeah, and you know what? I appreciate them. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, I mean, pay everybody, but
well, yes.
This specific strike is about that specific industry, so pay them.
Yeah,
there you
I'm
go.
good with that. All right, main topic.
Okay.
Disney Plus and chill.
Okay, so today we are going to talk, or this week we're talking about Secret Invasion. Now, this is a spoiler alert because we're not going to like hold back from anything like that, but we're also not going to like go through episode by episode details.
No, we're just talking high level.
However, there are some issues. And I think we're going to mostly talk about that.
It's a spoiler alert because all 12 of you that have already seen this show
exactly
won't need the spoiler alert, but everyone else needs the spoiler alert because it apparently was not very well watched.
So we were talking, or I mentioned a couple of minutes ago when we were talking about the news, about some of our favorite YouTubers, right?
Yeah.
Another one that we really like is Ordinary Adventures. And Peter from Ordinary Adventures tweeted a thing. And I think it sums it up perfectly. And it was like 5 years ago, if you told me there was a Marvel television series about Secret Invasion starring Nick Fury and a bunch of Skrulls and nobody watched it, I would have thought you were insane.
Yeah.
But it is 100% what happened.
The worst as far like ratings for streaming is a little bit tough, but by far, by every metric, the worst rated MCU Disney Plus show.
Popular, critics, everything. Across the board.
And you know what? Probably deserved.
I think so too. And it started strong.
We talked like we saw the first 3 episodes and we had our Marvel Minute before we left, and I liked the way it was going.
I did too.
The thing about Disney Plus shows is that it gives them the opportunity to explore different genres, and that's what this was going for. Was kind of like a spy thriller type of situation, and I was liking the direction it was going. And then it kind of fell off the rails.
So a lot of people, when it started, were like, "Oh, we had Andor for Star Wars. Secret Invasion is going to be the equivalent of that for Marvel.
And
that very spy." And it started that way. Didn't it feel that way?
It felt a little bit that way. Maybe a little lighter, but that's fine because it's Marvel.
Because it's Marvel.
Marvel should be a little lighter.
And Andor was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was super optimistic. Loved Nick Fury. I think I remember after the first episode, I said they should just have, subtitled it Nick Fury acts his pants off or something like that.
Yeah, so Sam Jackson went for it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, the acting in it was not the problem at all.
The writing in isn't one the problem either. However, none of it came together.
Well, first problem is apparently they had extensive reshoots.
Which makes sense when you know that watching it.
When you're watching it, it feels a little bit disjointed.
Yeah, that's the big word I kept saying.
It was only 6 episodes, and it could have been more.
Or,
but it could also, it would have. I feel it could have made an excellent movie.
I think so too.
You just.
I think so too.
You just make it a movie. You cut out the fluff of those 6 episodes, and you hone in on make it a Mission Impossible type of event, and you spend the whole budget of the series in a movie, and it would be better.
I agree.
They killed off some major characters,
and we didn't care.
And it felt like a wet fart.
It felt unearned.
Yeah. So
and then you had these big moments with characters you didn't care about, but you killed off these other ones, and then
okay. My number one problem with this is you have all these legacy characters in it, but then you go ahead and cast Emilia Clarke.
Who's fantastic. I love her.
But she's gotta be a major character now.
Yeah.
And you've never seen her before. You've never seen her before.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's a major character, and so you got to give her big moments because Emilia Clarke, big ticket.
Which is why we're actually not disappointed with casting not big ticket actors for Fantastic Four.
Exactly. You don't let the casting dictate the story.
Yeah.
You don't let the casting dictate the story, which is what happened here, and it's a little bit unfortunate because there was some good stuff going on, and it's not Emilia Clarke's fault. She did a good job, and her character actually was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But all these other characters kind of got pushed aside for her character.
Well, and at the same time, you're still like, well, to me, this was supposed to be like a Nick Fury story.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're trying to tell his story while trying to tell her story. So they're both getting like the short end of it. Like neither of them are getting a great story.
Well, and then you have the whole thing about the Skrulls, and you don't know who's real and who's not, which should be the story of a Secret Invasion.
You would think so.
That should be the focus. And yeah, you have that a little bit, but you mostly have Sam Jackson acting, and then it being unearned because it's not actually Nick Fury.
Yeah. That's okay, yes.
Which sucks.
So let's explain this, because you just said something that didn't seem to make sense if you haven't seen this.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain.
Well, in the final episode, the character that Emilia Clarke plays, Gaia, impersonates Nick Fury for the final showdown, and goes all out like Nick Fury's
it was great.
Dying. It's this whole thing. It's very tense, but at the same time, you kind of know that it's not actually Nick Fury. Like, it's not, and then it turns out that it's Gaia as a Skrull. Because Skrulls are immune to radiation, and this whole thing is like in Chernobyl, basically. And so you have this like really emotional moment of Nick Fury coming to terms with his past of using and abusing Skrulls, with the Skrull that's mad about it, and it's not real.
Yeah, none of it's real.
None of it's real. And I mean, Secret Invasion's all about what's real and what's not, but it was kind of anticlimactic that way. Like,
the thing that bothered me, I mentioned the writing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that bothered me was inconsistencies. So, like, Gaia as Nick Fury is talking about things like emotions after the snap.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't
and, like,
know.
Very, very personal stuff.
Like,
that seems kind of cool.
My feelings.
Seems kind of cool if it was actually coming from Nick Fury, because
we care about that character.
We haven't explored what the impact of the snap was on a personal level a lot.
Like, emotionally. And,
And having that talked about is cool, and then it's not real.
None of it's real.
Yeah, that sucks. And then we have this whole big focus on Nick Fury's marriage.
Yeah. We did have a line, was that Winter Soldier? One of the Captain America movies.
I don't know.
Anyway, where he does say he's married. So, like, we knew at least he said. I mean...
Yeah, but you don't trust anything Nick Fury says
exactly.
Anyway.
And, yes, he was married.
Which is part of the sell of a whole Secret Invasion thing. You don't trust what anybody says, and also Nick Fury doesn't... Yeah. There's so many problems. There's so many problems.
And there were things that, like, you could tell were edited out. Like, at the end, you have this scene where Gaia and, like, they see this room full of,
Olivia Colman's character.
Oh, by the way,
she
kicked serious butt.
Yeah, no. She's awesome. I want to see her character more, and I want to see her against Julia Louis-Dreyfus's Val character. Like, a lot. I want to see them.
Coleman.
I want to see them just talking to each other like a Seinfeld episode.
Oh my god!
Like,
it's funny because Dreyfus was in
Seinfeld. Exactly. I want to see that so bad.
Every time she was on the screen,
she was the best part of this series.
Best part of everything.
And if you would have told me that at the start, when after episode 1, when because Sam Jackson was kicking butt, no. Olivia Colman was
absolutely 100%
best part from start to finish.
I will literally watch a show of her just talking. She was amazing. She was absolutely amazing.
She went all the way and just perfect.
It was great.
So more of her in the MCU for sure.
For sure. So anyway, she and at the end Gaia's character are in this room with sleeper skrulls, I guess. But you don't know what the heck is going on.
It was very out of context and didn't make any sense. And
but it was
no one
you were
knows.
Supposed to know.
I don't know.
It wasn't hinted what is this? They're just oh.
No, it just made no sense.
Yeah, it's just in this room, and then.
And also, okay, so the big reveal. So if you don't know Secret Invasion from the comics, there was a bunch of big reveals of who the superheroes were that were being impersonated by Skrulls. So they kind of did this in this one. There was one Avenger, quote unquote, that was a Skrull.
He's an Avenger.
Rhodey, War Machine, was a Skrull in this, and then at the end they pull him out of his state, the real Rhodey was pulled out of his stasis, and they literally look at him and say, "How long were you in here?"
And he doesn't answer.
And it's a nebulous thing, and literally the director of the series, because there was only one director who directed every episode.
I didn't know that.
Doesn't know.
Interesting. These are the hints though. He is in a hospital gown.
He's in a hospital gown.
That matches the one.
And he's helped out, so people think that he was kidnapped shortly after the events of Civil War. Which
that... I don't like that, because that means Infinity War, that means Endgame. That means the guy who cried and comforted people at Tony's funeral was not Rhodey.
Cried at Tony's deathbed at Endgame.
Literally the second last person he talked to. And then when we see the way that Rhodey was in this show, Rhodey was a jerk. And I'm like, that doesn't equal each other.
Well, that was Skrull.
Skrull Rhodey. That was Scrody.
That was Scrody.
Scrody, yes, okay.
Scrody can be however he wants.
That's fine. But he wasn't like that then. Those two things are not the same. So this Skrull acting like Rhodey now cannot be this Skrull acting like Rhodey then.
You don't think that Skrull has it in them to cry at Tony's deathbed?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. I don't think that Skrull... And the funny thing is that there's a female skrull.
Which is that actually I really like. I enjoyed that a lot.
A female skrull impersonating Rhodey. But yeah, you're right. I don't think that skrull has it in them.
This skrull was just a straight up jerk.
To be sincere enough to cry when Tony Stark is dying in Endgame.
And also, hats off for actor for this one.
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle did a great job. They were even. Totally changed.
Mannerisms.
Yes, a jerk, but also there was like, when I say
feminized.
sass, yes, there was a feminized sass to it. That didn't exist previous to this. So if it was a Skrull acting, it was a different Skrull.
Don Cheadle can act.
Yeah, so
for sure.
There was for sure some solid acting here. And this is the other thing. There was like a really cool moment between Rhodey and Nick Fury, and because there's one of the cool things about Marvel shows is it's like, what's it actually about? Because yes, it's like a comic book story, but there's different things it's actually about. And Nick Fury often talked about like this being about like racial stuff.
Yes, they both happen to be black. Yes.
Yes, but anyway, other moments when he's talking to Gaia or talking to whomever, there was like stuff about that, and you had this.
Marvel's always had like, even in the comics, they've always had like allusions and
totally.
Metaphors.
We have an episode about that.
Oh yeah.
But they had a really cool moment about that, where if this was actually what the show was looking at, that was important, and then you find out, Rhodey, I was Don Cheadle's character. Rhodey is a Skrull, and then
that was okay.
Nick is acting, so it's like even the authenticity of like some of the cool moments were cheapened.
That was okay, because the scene where Nick Fury is playing the race card on Rhodey, he's testing him. And he's solidifying in his own mind that he's actually a Skrull. He has his suspicions, but he's solidifying.
This is when Nick Fury's getting fired, is what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about the firing.
Yes.
I'm talking about the whiskey scene.
Yeah, no, that part I actually didn't have as much of a problem with. Because at that point we knew that Rhodey was a Skrull because you knew Rhodey was a Skrull, but at that point it had been confirmed.
Yeah,
so there was like,
when Nick Fury's getting fired, I don't know. Nick Fury was not. He didn't have his mojo at that point. So.
It was like but it was like a cool talking moment, and Rhodey had some really cool lines in there, but it was a Skrull doing it, and it was Nick not being at his best. I don't know. It was a whole thing where it had this like great potential and had all these really cool moments, and then it like fell short on all of them.
I didn't feel too bad about that scene, to be honest with you.
I liked it when it was going on, and then afterwards I was like, meh.
I was okay with it. Nick Fury was supposed to still be on his back foot, and Scrody was just scrodying all over the place.
It sounds so inappropriate when you say that.
It's not my name. Other people have come up with that. This is Scrody.
I did like excellent acting, inconsistencies, reshoots.
Yeah, there needed to be a straight through line.
Yeah.
It needed to focus more on spy thriller, and Emilia Clarke's character needed to be not cast as Emilia Clarke, so it wouldn't be as important.
Or it needed to be a minor thing that you were setting up for later. That would have been fine.
You needed the big moments to be established characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just killing off Talos and...
Oh, and so anticlimactically.
Yeah.
Talos and what was that, episode 2? We lost... How long was she in the MCU? It was
like
something
10
like...
years.
Oh my god. Anticlimactically killing off... No, episode 2 we kill off Maria Hill.
Agent Sparkles.
Episode 2. And...
Yeah, that's what I said.
We have... It's like not even a plot device almost.
It doesn't pay off as any stakes. They just kill her.
And I'm like, I actually understand.
It's like barely mentioned again.
I understand from like a literary perspective how that's supposed to be like shocking and gut wrenching to just like, oh, and this character that you've been like with for over a decade, she's dead now. But they didn't do that.
No.
They died. He barely has, like, a breath for her. And then it's used as, like,
Maybe.
barely
Kinda.
collateral later. But not even for, like, her death, for we saw you kill her.
Yeah.
Because
barely,
it's,
It was fridging, but not even usefully.
Yeah, it was...
Like, fridging is problematic, but at least sometimes it has a benefit.
But there was no... It
There
didn't
was
feel
not-
like there was any point to this.
No, it was... You killed Agent Sparkles, and it was terrible.
Oh, I lied.
And then-
This was
and then
episode
even-
1. That was episode 1.
Even worse, you killed Soren off screen.
Oh, off screen. That was... Yes, you are correct. Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
And so much so that you're even like, is she actually dead?
Yeah, there was fan theories that she was gonna come back. She was hiding as someone else. Nope, no, she's just dead. She's just dead off screen. No, yeah. In a movie,
It's like as a mention, like not
in
even
a couple
thing.
movies, including Spider-Man. Nope, she's dead. Meh, it's fine. No one cares. Whatever. Like, what the heck? Like, why?
Like,
So stupid.
why do you set up this character that we're supposed to care about and then be like, as an offhanded comment?
Like, instead of bringing in Maria Hill, you kill Soren in that first episode.
Yeah, and then have all of a sudden, Talos and Gaia have like we care more about.
Something to... Gaia could have still been with the rebels, and then like, oh, they killed my mom. This is why I'm having doubts about this cause. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
okay, I fixed half of I fixed half of it. It's only half of it though.
Yeah, you can still kill her off episode 1 if that's what you want to do.
But you don't like. I don't know. It's very disappointing.
There were some really cool moments, especially in the first few episodes, that I really liked, and it seemed very promising, and I thought it was going to be this really cool premise, but I'm left with questions, not in a, like, ooh, I want to know, but, like,
Why?
holes.
Like,
Like,
why?
holes in the story.
And it sucks because a lot of the blame is being taken because there's quote unquote too much Marvel content now, so they can't handle it. I like that amount of Marvel content. I like looking forward to a Secret Invasion episode. I like looking forward to a Moon Knight episode. I like having Marvel shows on Disney Plus to look forward to.
Yeah, me too.
I like having 3 movies a year plus Disney Plus shows.
Me
like,
too.
it's good.
Just do good ones.
But the writing and like through line has to also be good. Yeah. And so this is showing that it isn't.
It's like it lacks direction right now.
Kevin Bott is not holding up his...
Someone Control Alt Delete, okay? Because, like, you got to figure out what is going on here.
Yeah.
With Kevin Bott.
Yeah, he just maybe needs a reset. I don't know.
You know what really concerns me, though? Leading from this? We have the Marvels coming up next.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel got a lot of flack for really stupid reasons. Miss Marvel got a lot of flack for really stupid reasons.
And now we're all bringing it all together.
And now we're bringing it all together, which is kind of cool, but now we have all this negativity coming out of Secret Invasion. Plus, we have a character that may or may not affect the Marvels, but I think we're just going to ignore Gaia. Gaia is superpowered.
Well, okay, so this is the biggest problem from Secret Invasion. You now have a character that he's a super skrull that's been inundated with DNA from basically every Avenger.
Making specific point to say that Ms. Marvel is included in this.
No, Captain Marvel.
Yes, sorry, Captain Marvel. I said Ms. Marvel. You're right.
Carol
Captain
Danvers.
Marvel.
A big part of the big show again. What I like so much about She-Hulk is how they made fun of the third act CGI showdown. Yeah. What did they do in this? Have a big meaningless CGI showdown.
But this one was actually entirely meaningless, and like there was a bad CGI moment that actually took me out of it while I was watching it. Oh, the Drax arm.
Yeah, the Drax arm was terrible. But the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, She-Hulk should just show up right now and be like, come on, guys. What did I just say? What did I just say? It's unfortunate because it was kind of cool watching all the Avengers powers kind of show up.
And the mannerisms. I like the mannerisms.
But Anyway, yeah, I'm very worried for the Marvels because I think it's gonna bomb hard, and if that bombs hard, we have the writer strike on, we have the actor strike on now. Well, like, what's gonna happen to the MCU?
I don't know. Like, Guardians 3 did well, but like Ant-Man, like, still wasn't like amazing. Ant-Man Quantumania did not do well.
Ant-Man started strong and like dropped off hard, so it's a trend, and we just need more Shang-Chi, probably. is what I'm thinking.
But I feel like it's set up. So in teacher world, we always say, "Oh, you're setting up for failure."
Yeah.
I feel like it set up the Marvels. This show set up the Marvels for failure.
Yeah, the Marvels is.
So guys, go watch the Marvels when it comes out.
The Marvels is in tough sledding, and on the other side of the fence, the DC universe is not helping superheroes in any way, shape, or form.
Right. The biggest movie from DC, The Flash.
Just an utter failure because they were just like doing terrible things all the way along, and then they're like, we're going to change things, but we're still going to release this other movie, and also our main actor is a serial assaultist and kind of crazy, so
cultist. Don't forget that he may be running his own cult.
Possibly, I don't know. Anyway, they are mentally troubled.
Yes.
And still leading the movie, which may or may not be good, but there's all this baggage, and also they're completely cutting off that universe. So
well, yeah. So it was weird because their announcements about what they were going to be doing with DC is like, we really want you to care about this movie, but then after we're going to immediately cut ties with everyone from it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, well, then why do I care about this big movie?
That is the problem with having a connected universe in general.
So anyway, I'm concerned for the Marvels because I'm really looking forward to it, and I feel like this show set it up for failure, and it was already going to be, like you said, writer strike, actor strike, people not going to movies the same way they used to.
Unless it's Barbenheimer.
Nice. Already the Ms. Marvel and already Captain Marvel, all of that kind of like tied up in there. People are complaining about not knowing characters if they showed up in the show. So then we also have, is her name Photon yet?
Not yet.
Photon-esque.
It's gonna be. Well, it's
so like there's all of those concerns that already was
Jessica
starting
Rambo.
with. Yes, all the stuff it was already starting with. That was like, it still looks really cool, and I'm still like excited.
On the plus side, WandaVision was one of the more watched Marvel shows because it was the first one,
and it was also amazing.
Fantastic, yes,
amazing.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Still the one, my favorite. Can we have a positive Marvel news for a minute?
Loki season
2 season 2 trailer. Looks so good.
Save us, Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston gets to save us.
Yeah, Loki season 2 looks pretty good. I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Me too.
It looks like it might have some more time hijinks that I was hoping for in season 1.
Jumping around and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like some alternate history stuff. I'm
see.
hoping a little bit. I don't know. The trailer only shows the first 2 episodes anyway, so we'll see.
Every time. So anyway, I feel like I'm worried for the Marvels. Is the end of that.
I'm worried for the MCU. Mostly because I don't want it to fail before the Fantastic Four come out.
Agreed.
I just want one. Just give me one good Fantastic Four movie. Just one, please.
So,
okay.
Brandon.
Yeah.
This is a long episode.
Yeah. Is there going to be a good Fantastic Four movie?
I hope so.
Okay.
But I have a question for you.
12.
Are you secretly a skrull?
Possibly. You wouldn't know if I was, would you?
Well, let's find out. First
Although,
question.
my nose was bleeding earlier today and it wasn't purple.
That's
so
true.
I'm probably not a Skrull.
First question. Can you distinctly remember being 10 years old?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to click yes, of course.
Mm.
Which of these Marvel heroes do you think is really a Skrull in disguise? Captain America, Captain Marvel, Captain America, like OG Captain America.
Chris
Evans.
Chris Evans, yeah.
Black Widow.
Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers, yes. So Steve Rogers, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Black Widow, the Hulk, Thor, or Gamora?
It's Steve Rogers. Like, He was frozen in the ice for all that time. It's very easy for a Skrull to
That's
replace
true.
him. Totally. And he was also, Captain America was also a Skrull in the comics, famously.
Do you generally believe there are aliens living among us? Totally. I think so, but I'm not sure. I don't really think so, or no way.
I've watched enough Ancient Aliens to know the answer is totally it's aliens. I don't.
Do you want me to say totally, or I think
Totally, it's
okay,
aliens.
Okay. Okay, so this is a picture one. Which of these cats is an alien? So this is a picture one. There's a cat yawning, a gray cat looking at you. There's a cat that looked confused, which is the one Brandon picked. And finally, which of the Infinity Stones would you like most to have? The Space Stone,
Time Stone,
the Mind Stone, the Reality Stone, the Power Stone, the Time Stone, or the Soul Stone?
Time Stone.
Okay.
Time Stone.
Oh, you are so a Skrull.
Yeah.
But a very convincingly disguised one. Well done.
I'm a smart Skrull. What can you say? It's the Time Stone. You take the Time Stone. Yeah. That's probably why I'm a Skrull, because it's the Time Stone, and you can like do all sorts of things with the Time Stone.
I can't say
everything else is stupid. You want the Time Stone.
Can't say I've ever thought of stealing the Time Stone.
I've come to bargain, Dormammu. Like, I mean, come on.
That is a great moment. Anything else to add about Secret Invasion other than
they should have had a Time Stone?
They
should have had a Time Stone. Yeah.
And you fixed it.
Literally everything could be solved by the Time Stone. Also, don't cast Emilia Clarke in a TV show as a new character, unless it's like 10 years ago and it's Game of Thrones. It was fine. She was good casting. Yeah.
Also, Skrull language spoken by Emilia Clarke
sounds like Dothraki.
Sounds just like Dothraki.
she spoke a little too much Dothraki in her history, and Skrull language sounds like Dothraki for sure. We both said it like immediately. That sounds like Dothraki. Okay.
It was really
good. That was like if you had been recording our live reaction, we both said it was Dothraki.
It's Dothraki. Yeah. Well, that is our show this week. Thank you, El Mule, who's responsible for the custom theme song you heard at the top of the show. You can find a link to his work at our website, which is disneya.wixsite.com/podcast, where you can also find a link to our social media accounts. We are currently on Facebook, Instagram, and
X.
I'm still saying Twitter.
X. We're not really on X anymore.
No.
Don't even worry about it.
We're not on X anymore. Well, I mean, we have an account, but we don't even update it anymore.
I have not looked at it in a long time.
Yeah.
I try to go on my personal Twitter X account, and it's horrible. I don't even bother with the other
we are on Instagram and Facebook.
There you go.
Mostly Instagram.
We should just start a TikTok account in protest.
Honestly, we might. I don't know. We might. But I don't know.
you noticed by my silence that was a funny joke.
You can find Disney A episodes on all of your favorite podcast streaming platforms and on our YouTube channel, Adventures A. Here's your friendly reminder, Stitcher, which is one of the most common podcast streaming platforms, is closing out later this month. So you can only find us on there for another couple weeks.
R.I.P. Stitcher.
Yep.
If you were better than Twitter.
Oh, yeah. If you've rated or reviewed our podcast, thank you. And if you haven't yet, please do, especially if you are on Apple Podcasts. But honestly, like, anything is awesome. If you know someone who might like listening to us, be sure to recommend Disney A as well. I don't know what we're doing next episode.
Probably something cool. I don't know.
Well, we talked about, I don't know if it's going to be next episode or the episode after, but we have a blind date with Disney coming up.
Well, it is your summer holidays, so you kind of deserve...
It's my blind date with Disney,
You kind of deserve a blind date with Disney, so it's coming up. I don't know, maybe next week we might continue the Decades, if you want to go watch some Decades movies.
I want to go watch some Decades right now.
Right now?
Right now. Let's go do it.
Okay.
So I'm Krysta.
And I'm Brandon.
And until the next adventure, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Thanks for listening to Disney A.
I'm finishing your sandwiches right now. Sorry, I apologize.